Hello, everyone. This is Femi Akojenu here, CEO of Live Zone Television. I wanted to take a moment to do two things, actually. One, to invite you to join me for my media mentoring session that is going to be taking place on September 9th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to be showing you how you can get your business, your ministry, your product, your service in the news, how you can get free publicity by having your business, your ministry, your service, and your product in the news. So that's the first thing I want to do. But then also, I want to show you some examples of people that are being featured on mainstream media just to kind of inspire you and to show you what is possible. Now, let's be clear. My media mentoring session is not to get you a network deal, it's not to get you any kind of deal. That's not what it is about. It is to help you, to show you how you can get yourself featured in the news. It's that simple. So now you may say, but why be featured in the news? Well, anything you're doing, if nobody knows about it, then it's going to go nowhere. For example, if you have created a product that nobody knows about, then nobody will buy the product. If you have a service you provide and people don't know about it, then they're not going to make use of your service. So by being featured in the news is another marketing strategy. There are many other marketing strategies that people use, whether it's social media, flyers, and other types. But being featured on mainstream media, where you get to have your product or your service, your ministry shown to millions of people, is also a good marketing strategy. And what I do is to teach you some tips on how you can get yourself featured. Now, you may say, but what qualifies you to teach this? Well, I've been featured in the number of media platforms myself, including, at least two of the major ones, the largest Christian network, TBN, as well as the one of the largest newspaper, New York Times, and also many other media platforms, over 15 media platforms that I've been featured in. So I know a thing or two that I want to share with you during this seminar so that whatever you are doing, you too can be featured in the news. It is that simple. This is not getting you a deal with anybody or making your show to go on a major network. That's a whole different thing, right? This is not what this is. This is to get you interviewed so that it can give exposure to what you're doing. Now, I intentionally said what I just said because some people misunderstand some of these things. So I want to make sure nobody is misunderstanding anything. But there is so much value in being interviewed on various media platforms, especially the mainstream media. There's so much value in that. Somebody may say, well, but these people, I don't believe in what they do and all that stuff. You don't have to believe in what they do. All you need is come and talk to me about my book. Come and talk to me about what I'm doing in my community so that others can know about it and they can make use of your various outreaches. That's all. It's not because you're supporting that particular network. It's just so that an established network can tell about what you're doing for the community or in your business so that you can get exposure, right? So that's what this is about. All right, so again, on September 9th, I'm going to be showing you how to be featured in the news. I've been featured, and I want to show you how you too can be featured. But what I want to do right now is to show you some examples because really, believe it or not, people just like you are being featured on a daily basis. People who do what you do, they are being featured on a daily basis. So, for example, if you're a minister of the gospel, you too can be featured. I've been featured as a minister of the gospel. As a matter of fact, New York Times, they send their reporter to actually come to my services and also come to my one-on-one prayer sessions, deliverance sessions, and they wrote an article. So, believe it or not, you too, as a minister of the gospel, can be featured on mainstream media. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, right? You have a business. Well, guess what? You too can be featured discussing something that you do on mainstream media. If you're a professional of any kind, you're a consultant of any kind, you are a service provider providing any kind of service, you too can be featured. Well, if you are an author, as a matter of fact, authors are one of the most featured on mainstream media. If you're a psalmist, if you're a musician, if you're a recording artist, you should be featured on mainstream media. I'm talking about CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, Today Show, Oprah Winfrey Show, um, and many other ones that are out there, Good Morning America, and many other ones, right? Those are examples of mainstream media. And of course, you also have magazines, you have Breakfast Club. I mean, it's endless. The list is endless. And I'm going to be showing you the various lists during my seminar. If you are maybe an evangelism coordinator, an outreach coordinator, believe it or not, you can be featured on mainstream media. I don't care what you do. If you're a non-profit organization, you too can be featured on mainstream media. You're a hairstylist, you're a decorator, you're a cook, you're a chef, you can be featured on mainstream media. Anything you do can be featured, believe it or not. So when you hear me talking about being featured on mainstream media, don't remove yourself from this conversation. If you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a ministry, if you have a business, you can be featured on mainstream media. Now, again, I want to repeat, this has nothing to do with you, having a deal. We're not talking about a deal here. That's a whole different story, right? Somebody who has maybe a show and they want to get a deal so that their show can be on TV and all that stuff. That's not what this is. This is just you being featured in the news, right? That they can interview you and talk about your product, talk about your service, talk about something you're doing, right? This is what this is. So let me show you some examples of people who are being featured on mainstream media. I hope that this will inspire you and this will help you to see that, wow, this is really, really possible. Now, the first clip I want to show you has to do with some people who are giving away some stuff for back to school. Back to school. Now, here's the thing: many churches are doing back to school programs. You are giving away book bags and school supplies. I've done it in my own church, right? We've given away book supplies and all that stuff. Do you realize that all those back to school events that you're doing, you can actually get the news to cover it? Oh, yes, you can get the news to cover it. And so I want to show you a clip as an example of what I am talking about. So take a look at this.
A back-to-school food handout.
Okay, I'm not sure what just happened there. Let's see. Let's make sure. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, looks like that clip is not working right. Let's try another clip. This one is a non-profit. Let's make sure this is working. All right. Okay, I'm not sure why we're getting this. Okay, what's going on here? All right, let's see what's going on. Looks like we are having some technical difficulty here. Let me try one or two videos. I may have to come back. This is a banana pudding. Somebody who made a banana pudding that was featured in the news. Let's see if this one will work. May have to see what's going on technically here. Okay, they all seem to be stuck at 2 seconds. I'm not sure what the issue is. Let's see if this one works. Okay, we're having some technical issues here. All right, looks like I'm gonna be back. I'm just going to come back. All right, I'm gonna come back. Let's resolve whatever the issue is here. Um, and then I will be back. But what I wanted to do was to show you examples. So this one, for example, the last one I showed you was talking about hair. This is South Carolina pastor that was talking about, you know, water. Okay, this one seems to be working. Okay, let's leave that on while I try to see what the issue is with the other ones.
Is the Power of Water initiative and a community facing water insecurity turning to a high-tech solution. When Pastor Leo Woodbury takes the pulpit, he preaches about the issues he believes have the biggest impact on his community.
We're called to be stewards of the earth. We're called to take care of not only one another, but the planet that we live on.
Over the last 10 years, his congregation at Kingdom Living Temple in Florence, South Carolina, has endured colossal flooding and destruction from hurricanes like Matthew in 2016 and Florence in 2018. He says the town and its residents are now facing ongoing water insecurity.
People can't afford to continue to repair their homes over and over again as climate impacts increase.
It's going to get worse. Really, I am so afraid that if we get another hurricane, we won't be able to live here.
This is my life in this area here. I live my whole life in this area, and I don't want to move. I'd rather learn to adjust than to move.
The first step, these hydro panels installed at the church. Powered by energy from the sun, they pull moisture out of the air, creating on average.
All right, I don't intend to show the entire thing. I just wanted to show you an example. So right there was a pastor. They're doing some things with water in their community, and they were featured in the news. So let's see if we have resolved this thing. I think what happened was, you know, the hard drive that has these videos was taken out at some point and then put back in. So I think that kind of messed it up. So I think I have fixed it while we were watching that. So that was an example of a pastor sharing about something he's doing with water in his community. And some of you are pastors and you're doing some great things in your community, right? Whether it's literacy program, whether it's sports program, something you're doing, right? After school program. Do you know that all those programs, you can pitch it to the news and they can interview you? They can do a story on you, what you're doing in the community. That's what this is about, right? So you say, but why should they have us in the news? Again, it's for publicity. Publicity. If people don't know about what you're doing, how are they going to make use of it? If they don't know about what you're doing, how are they going to support it? The more people know about what you're doing, the more they want to make use of it. Other kids may say, oh, wow, I want to join that program. Parents may look at your program on TV and say, oh, wow, I would like to be a part of that, or I'd like my children to be a part of that. And some potential donor can see what you're doing and say, oh, wow, we love this, let's support it, right? So that's why you want to be featured in the news. So let's see if hopefully this one works now. These people are doing some back to school giveaway. Let's see if this works now.
A back-to-school food handout event was held today in Suffolk County, Long Island. Northwell Health and Suffolk County Women's Alliance to End Food Insecurity joined volunteers at the Peconic Bay Medical Center. They packed bags full of fruit, vegetables, dairy, and healthy meal kits to hand out to community members in need.
All right, so look at that 19-second clip of a back-to-school food distribution, right? That was held by a nonprofit. So some of our churches are doing this, right? We're giving away food pantries. Have your food pantry be covered in the news yet? Well, that's what we're talking about, right? Some of you are doing back to school programs. Well, you can also be covered, right? You can be in the news. This was on CBS News, right here in New York. So I figured out what the problem was. So sorry about that. The videos were uploaded, and then the hard drive was removed, and then it was reinserted back, and it just caused that issue there. Then realized it's going to do that. So, but I'm glad we're able to resolve that issue. So let me show you another example of a nonprofit, right? This nonprofit, they help young students with self-empowerment. And honestly, isn't many of our churches doing that, right? Empowering people. And those of you with nonprofit organizations, many of you are doing this kind of stuff, right? You're empowering people. Well, guess what? This is an example of a nonprofit being featured on Good Morning America. Good Morning America. So again, why am I showing you these examples? I want to show you what's possible. It's not just reserved for the mega churches or mega businesses or celebrities. No. Anyone who is doing any good thing can pitch it to the news, and the news can cover it. They can mention it. They can give you the exposure. It is a form of marketing. And if more people know about what you're doing, the better, right? The more people that know, the better for your product, for your service, for anything that you're doing. So let's look at this nonprofit being featured on Good Morning America.
There's a new curriculum in the Detroit Public Schools empowering students to be themselves and overcome social anxiety through the art of improv. The Detroit Creativity Project is building confidence and teaching students a creative, collaborative approach to life. Take a look.
The Detroit Creativity Project empowers and inspires the youth of Detroit through the art form of improvisation. We wanted to start the Detroit Creativity Project because in 2011, the school systems in Detroit were facing a lot of hard times and art programs were being cut to shore up the budgets. And while yes, it's a performing art, it also carries a lot of sort of wonderful side effects.
Shoot! I think that's happened, guys!
It builds your self-esteem. It makes you realize that you're part of a community and that you're already prepared, whether in class and on stage or outside in the real.
So some of you watching right now, maybe you have a nonprofit organization that is empowering young people. This particular program is helping young people overcome social anxiety and to build confidence and learn some life skills. Well, some of our churches are doing that. Some of your nonprofit organizations are doing that. You should be featured too, right? So many of us have been doing great things, but no mention in the news at all. And that's what my seminar is about, right? To teach you how you can get featured. Now, somebody may say, well, why does anybody have to come to your seminar to learn that? They can learn it on their own. Well, you can learn many things on your own. You don't even have to go to university. You can learn at home. But many people can't do that. They don't have the discipline to do that. They don't have the time to do that. So that's why you go to school. That's why you go to a seminar. That's why you go and learn something somewhere. Because who has time to be learning all that all by yourself, right? Who has time to do all the research on your own? Now, of course, there's nothing I'm teaching you that you cannot do on your own. But how many people actually have time for that? And then it's one thing to learn or to read something. It's another thing to have the experience that goes along with it. So I definitely encourage those of you who are looking to expand and wanting to promote whatever you are doing to make use of a seminar like this. Now, let me show you another example. And this example is somebody who was giving some hairstyling tips. Now, if you are, a hairstylist, you have a salon, maybe you do African braiding, you do any kind of thing. You do some locks with the hair. Anything you do with your hair or with people's hair, you too can be featured. You can be featured on mainstream media. And thousands and millions of people can actually know about you. And that is great publicity for your business. So when I told you earlier that anyone can be featured, I mean that. Anyone can be featured. You don't need to be a celebrity. You don't need to have money. By the way, to be featured, it's free. You don't pay to be featured. You don't pay these networks for them to feature you, right? And when we talk about being featured, we're talking about news, for them to showcase you in the news. for them to talk about you, what your product, your service, or for you to share some tips in the news, right? You don't have to be a celebrity for this. You don't have to be a PhD holder for this. Literally, you can just be the average Joe. You need to pitch it to this news, and they will feature you. So that's what this seminar is about. I want to show you how this is done. I've done it, and I want to show you how you too can do it, right? All right, so let's look at this example of tips for hair.
Now to head-turning hairstyles. Healthy and happy hair is within reach, even when you're styling your own locks at home. Celebrity hairstylist Yanae Damtu joins us with tips for creating luscious looks. Yanae, thank you so much for being here. You are having an amazing start to 2021. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so let's talk. You have trimmed the tresses of A-listers. What are your top hair maintenance tips?
Of course, moisture is super, super key. I think that so many people get so caught up in techniques and all these other things that they forget to moisturize their hair. So that is always number one. And then number two, I think so many of us have been at home and having to figure out our hair during a shutdown. It's really important to consult with a professional. If you have questions, get on the phone, ask your hairstylist what you should do so they can give you a customized at-home hair care routine.
Perfect. Okay, and now we have a viewer question. Kelsley on Twitter asks, when I have an unanticipated Zoom call with no time to properly style my hair, what's a quick fix that I can do instantly?
Kelsley, a quick fix or a quick hair tip, my go-to is always a ponytail. You could do a side ponytail, you could put a middle part, but a really nice, classic, clean ponytail is something that you can never go wrong. And you could use it, you could dress it up or dress it down. So love, love, love a great ponytail.
I do love that. Mine is always the big bun.
All right, I'm not going to show you the entire thing, just kind of wanted to show you an example of what I am talking about. All right, anyone, if you're a chef, if you're a cleaner, you can be featured on mainstream media. You say, what? I just do some little cleaning on the side. You can be featured because guess what? On the Today Show, on Good Morning America, on many of these shows, you can share some tips on how to clean your house, how to clean a couch, how to remove stains, right, from anything. You know how to do it. You can be in the news sharing that. And so what will be the benefit of that to you? Well, then more people will know about your business, your cleaning business, and they will want to patronize you. Like, wow, because you can give such tips on TV, then they'll be looking for you. It will increase people patronizing your business. So this is why being featured in the news is important. This is positive feature, right? You are the one reaching out so that they can feature you. So I'll be showing you everything that entails, how to reach out, how to pitch to them, all that, right? That's what my seminar is about. Now, if you want to have a show on TV, this is not what this is. This is not for you to have a show on TV or you want to have a network deal and all that stuff. This has nothing to do with that. This is publicity for your ministry, your publicity for your business, publicity for your book, right, for your product, for your service, and all that stuff, right? This is what this is. Now, maybe you're a cook, right? You're a chef. Guess what? You too can be featured. Maybe you have some snacks that you know how to bake or make and all that. You're a baker. Well, guess what? You too can be featured. You too can be featured. So let me show you an example of the banana pudding.
Hey, welcome back. A local baker is making a name for himself. He's from Detroit, and he's making cheesecakes, turning them from puddings and calling it Royal Banana Pudding, taking online orders, all the rage, all the craze. Yes. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
Most importantly, he's brought some food for us here, and you're going to teach us a little something too.
Yes, I am.
All right, creator James Fleming is here. Thanks so much for joining us. Tell us how this all got started.
So I started about 3 years ago. I started the business. I didn't take it serious until about a year ago, where it was a recipe that was passed down from my grandmother to my father. My father made banana pudding as I was growing up, and it was something that was interesting to me, so I just decided to turn it into a business.
Okay, you're going to teach us this morning. What are you going to help us make?
So today I'm going to make what we have here, the fried banana pudding cheesecake.
It smells so good in here.
Yes.
What's our first step?
Okay, so the first step is we have the cheesecake here. I froze it last night. Just cut out a nice slice for you guys.
All right.
Put this here.
So as we're cutting that out, you said you didn't take it seriously at first. What was that crucial moment when you were like, all right, I think I'm onto something?
Well, I went to school to be an entrepreneur. So it was just like, you know, everyone loves what I'm making as far as a dessert. So it was just like, why not just turn it into a business?
It was perfect, right?
Yes.
Okay, what did you just dip that in?
Okay, so we dipped the cheesecake first in egg.
Okay.
And then I crushed up some vanilla wafers. So we're going to dip it in the vanilla wafers next.
All right.
And then after we do that, we dip it back in the egg, just to double batter it.
Okay. And then we'll get to, they are making noises.
Sorry, guys, that I have to cut it off. Just giving you an example. I don't have the time to show the entire thing, but I just wanted to share example with you. That was on ABC News, right? Channel 7. So I'm saying that you too, your business, your product, your service, your nonprofit, your ministry, your church, your outreaches can be featured. Your book can be featured. By the way, if you're an author, authors are one of the most featured on mainstream media, right? So wanted to show you some of those examples. I want to show you a decorator who went on, I'm not sure if which one this is, maybe the Today Show or so, to give some tips. And usually that's what they do, right? They have you come and share some tips on TV. So whether it's a Good Morning America or The View or Today Show, you share some tips. That 5 minutes that they have you on, or 10 minutes that they may have you on, that's big, because millions of people are watching you and they're getting to know about your ministry, they're getting to know about your business, they're getting to know about your product, about your book, about your service, about anything else that you got going on. So it's such a big deal. It's worth it. It's free, and you get to reach millions of people. It's a good way of branding for your business or for your ministry, for sure. Don't say, well, I don't believe in mainstream media. I'm not asking you to believe in mainstream media. All you're doing is you're making use of the platform they have to promote what you have. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's not because you support CNN. It's not because you support Fox. It's not because you support any of the other networks. It's just simply that they have a show, and you can go on, and for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, you can share about your book, you can share about your church, you can share about your outreach, you can share about your story, right? You can share something that many more people can know about and they can make use of. All right, let's look at a decorator doing a thing here.
It may not be summer just yet, but we're always ready for a little fun in the sun around here. So this morning, we're going to show you some simple ways to wow friends at your next backyard party. And to do that, Lindsay Pierce, owner of the Craft Studio here in New York City.
Yes.
So crafty.
Thank you for having me. It's almost summertime.
We're ready.
It's
No, we're
freezing
ready
here
to
in New
go.
York today, but let's pretend. We'll pretend it's summer.
Summer vibes.
Okay, I'm going to teach you some things to make you be the royal hostess with the most.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Okay, this is just like beverage, you know, ice bucket.
Yep.
Why not make, see, I wrote on there, Fun in the Sun Essentials.
Really
Have it
cute.
waiting for your guests.
That's
Tie some
really
little
cute.
fringe on the
That's
handles.
really
and
cute.
how many
Just
times
things
do
you
you
can
go?
grab.
Right? You go to a party, I've forgotten someone's towel. Somebody needs a hair tie, bug spray,
Yes.
sunscreen, a lantern for when it gets dark.
So cute.
Bubbles so you can escape
That's a
and
great
actually
idea.
have fun for a minute and say hi to people.
Right. Just a water gun.
Who doesn't love a little
It's
water
just
squirt,
cute.
right?
It just feels like the host thought about it. And you don't feel bad asking, do you have any sunscreen?
Exactly.
It's right there, ready
because
to go.
that's always me. I've forgotten something
Yes.
for one of my million children, and we're in trouble.
So now what is
Save
this?
today. Okay, so these are my little decor / useful things. Okay.
This is so cute.
This is adorable. Let's start with this one.
Okay.
How many times do you have your drink? Some little bugs flown in there. You know, this is the perfect, adorable decor / useful way. Yes.
Oh, that's so great.
It works really well with these reusable wine tumblers. It's like the perfect size, and you can just rinse them out and reuse them for every party. And you poke like a little hole with scissors and put a straw in and a cute little party
I
flair.
love that.
Right? I know, right? And you can wash them and then.
So this is showing craft decorations at your backyard party, right? So how you can have some decorations at your backyard party. Let me show you one more. Again, I apologize for the technical issue in the beginning, but let me show you one more. This is, I believe, a pastor sharing his story. I believe he also just wrote a book. Like I mentioned before, authors are one of the most featured on mainstream media. All right, so let's look at this.
Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and producer Kem has captivated audiences with his smooth and soulful sound. Born and raised in Detroit, Kem's love for music began at an early age, and he has since gone on to release multiple albums that have garnered critical acclaim and commercial success. But behind the music lies a powerful personal story of struggle, redemption, and faith, which Kem has now shared with the world in his new autobiography, Share My Life, A Journey of Love, Faith, and Redemption. Joining us now is Kem. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
We were just talking about projects like these. It's not easy to come together and just put it all in a book. What was that process like for you?
We've been writing the book, Share My Life, for probably what seems to be my lifetime, right? We started before the pandemic. David Ritz has been a good friend to me over the years, and he was the perfect partner to collaborate on telling my story. Yeah.
You've been through so much. Yeah. I mean, ups and downs. Share My Life here covers a wide range of topics, including your childhood, your struggles with addiction, and your journey to success as a musician. How important was it for you to share not only your career highlights, but also some of the downsides?
Yeah, people who have been following my career since I signed to the Motown label are not strangers to me sharing bits and pieces of my story. I talk about my struggles with addiction and homelessness and depression. But the book was the perfect vehicle to expound on those topics. And I know that my life has great healing and transformation has taken place in my life because somebody shared their story with me, you know? So I feel like I would like the opportunity to do the same for someone else. Yeah.
One of the central themes of this book is love, both in your personal life and in your music. And it seems like you are now living some of your music.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to cut it right there. Sorry, this is not a pastor. This is a Grammy-nominated artist, gospel artist, who came to share about his life, the journey of love, faith, and redemption. All right. Again, because of the technical issues, I had to re-add some of this video, so got it mixed up a little bit. But I'm glad I was able to show you some examples, regardless of the technical issue. And you're able to see, we saw a decorator, we saw a banana pudding, we saw, you know, an artist, we saw a pastor, we saw a non-profit organization. So we saw different people who are doing different things, and they are being featured in the news. And what I'm saying to you is that you too can be featured in the news. You too can be featured in the news. And why? It gives your ministry, your business, your product, your services, your books, it gives them the visibility so that more people can know about it, more people can patronize you, more people can make use of your services. It's very important. Of what use is it that you have a product, you've spent thousands creating this product, nobody knows about it. I know people who have a business and they have product, and their product is just collecting dust at home. Nobody knows about it. Marketing is an issue. They've not been able to get the word out. So mainstream media, being featured on mainstream media is a marketing tool, right? It's one of the ways that more people can know about what you're doing. It's that simple, right? You are being featured in the news so that for that 5 minutes, somebody can get to know about your ministry, about your nonprofit organization, about your outreaches, about your book, about your product, about your service. That's what you're doing. And as more people know about it, they'll be able to patronize you. They'll be able to go and check out your website. They'll be able to make some orders of your product if they are impressed by what you presented on mainstream media. They're able to even visit your church because of what you shared on mainstream media. So please don't shun this, because all of us who are doing anything good, we need more people to know about what we are doing. And my seminar taking place on September 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is going to be giving you tips, 3 hours with me. 3 hours. I'll show you what you need to know. I'll show you how to pitch. I'll show you how I have done it to get to be in the news in over 15 media platforms. I'll show you how you too can begin to get in the news in a positive light, in a positive way, so that you can give visibility and publicity, free publicity too, to whatever you are doing in the community, right? I want to show you how to do that. So go and sign up right now, www.lifezonetv.com, www.lifezonetv.com, right? Go and sign up for my media mentoring session, September 9th. Now, some of you are able to attend in person at the LifeZone TV studios here in New York City, Queens, New York. So if you are able to attend in person, you can attend in person. If you prefer to attend online, you can also do so. Once you register, you'll be able to get the information for you to be able to join us, right? So you can also watch online. If you say, well, but that time is not good for me, then you can also join on demand. So again, register, and then the link to the video is going to be sent to you so that you'll be able to watch it at your leisure. But I want to encourage you that if you have anything good that you're doing, you need extra publicity. And I will be showing you 3 hours on how to do it. Now, can you do it yourself? Of course. We all can do anything ourselves. Just like you can paint your house yourself. Just buy rollers and buy a painter and start painting. But there's usually a difference between when a professional paints it, unless you are a professional, and an amateur painting it, right? That's the reason why we pay for anything, because we would rather learn from those who know it well instead of reinventing the wheel. But if you want to reinvent the wheel, go ahead. Nothing stops you. You don't have to come to my seminar. But there are some people who are saying, you know what, I don't even have time for that. Just come and tell me what I need to do. Well, guess what? If you're one of those, come to my seminar. I'll show you what you need to do, right? I'll cut through all of the unnecessary research because I've done it, and I'll share with you. And I'll also use my experience of having been featured by New York Times, or on New York Times, or TBN, or many other platforms, and I will share with you some tips that will help you to be featured. So if you want to promote anything that you have going on and get on mainstream media free of charge, then this is a seminar that you want to attend. Go and register, www.lifezonetv.com. Scroll to the bottom. You see a link that says Media Mentoring Session 2023. Click on that and register to join me for my media mentoring session, right? So I want to use my experience to give you some tips, right, on how to be featured. Now, some of you might have done research in the past. Maybe you're just missing one or two things. Well, guess what? Come to the seminar as well. Let's rub minds together and help you to succeed in being able to get featured in the news. Again, by being featured in the news, it gives your ministry, your business, your product, your service, your book, your outreach, your nonprofit, it gives it the publicity and the visibility that it needs in order to succeed. I hope you register, and please go ahead and also share this information with somebody else that you know so that they too can be a part of this media mentoring session. It's definitely going to be a eye-opening experience for them. Again, you can attend in person, you can attend online, or you can attend on demand, but you need to register. So go to livezonetv.com, scroll to the bottom, click on Media Mentoring Session 2023, and register there. I cannot wait to meet you on the 9th. Thank you very much for watching this. Please go ahead and share this so that others can also find out about this information. Thank you very much.